Before you create your Facebook ad, it's important that you understand the key ad policies for Facebook and Instagram because there are some restrictions in terms of the content, the targeting, and the images that you can use in your Facebook ads. Now, the best place to understand the Facebook ad policies is on the Facebook website itself. They have a very detailed guide about what is allowed and what is not allowed. And if you want to access this for yourself, you can go to facebook.com/policies/ads. So the first thing to understand is that there is an ad review process. Before your ads show up on Facebook and Instagram, they're reviewed to make sure they meet these advertising policies laid out here. Now typically that will happen and your ads will be reviewed within 24 hours. And if for any reason your ad is not approved, you'll get a notification by email explaining why and the changes that you need to make. So let's start by looking at some of the prohibited content. Now, anything that's listed here cannot be advertised on Facebook. And as you can imagine, a lot of these things are pretty obvious, like illegal products or services, tobacco products, drugs. But here, there are a couple of surprising categories in here, like unsafe supplements. And it's probably a reason why you don't see a lot of supplements for bodybuilding, etc. in your Facebook newsfeed. Because Facebook has the sole discretion to decide whether your supplement is safe or unsafe. So that's a big question mark if you are advertising in this niche. Moving down again, some more obvious categories like adult content or products. But down here is another interesting one, third-party infringement. And I have a great example of this. I had a friend who wanted to create a t-shirt company that had printed on the t-shirts the latest memes from around the internet. Now the problem with this and why he wasn't able to really get his business idea off the ground and access Facebook ads is because a lot of those memes and images included copyrighted, trademarked images. So that's worth considering if you are going to sell t-shirts or any products like that have copyrighted infringement. You won't be able to advertise them through the Facebook ad platform. Now moving down a further little bit here, there are a lot more things under the prohibited content here. Payday cash loans, multi-level marketing, penny auctions, etc. Some of the things you might expect to see. Now after prohibited content, there are restrictions on certain other types of content like alcohol. You must follow the local laws. So for example, in Ireland where I'm from, you wouldn't be able to advertise to anybody under 18 in relation to alcohol. Other types of restricted content like online pharmacies, supplements. If you're in this business, once again, it's good to come in here and really check before you go through that process of setting up your ads, doing all the targeting, only to get not approved at the end of all of that. So prohibited and restricted content are the big policy areas that you'll want to review. Now another important one where there's a lot of confusion is text in images. And Facebook recently changed the rules on this, so this is worth looking at in a little bit more detail. So Facebook policies recently previously were, they prohibited ads with text that covered more than 20% of an ad's image. So they wanted to keep the Facebook newsfeed looking good. They don't want it looking spammy and having ads with a lot of text on them. Now they've recently revised a new solution that allows ads with greater than 20% text to run, but with less or no delivery. Now, why did they change the rule? Well, my guess is that they wanted to reduce the workload that they had in terms of rejecting ads and going through that approval process. So they decided to put the onus back on the advertiser and say, if you have ads that are greater than 20% text on the images, you're going to be able to advertise, but with less or no delivery. So let us have a look at a couple of examples for this. Now here I am inside the Boost Post tool and I have an image here that has more than 20% text on it. You can see a lot of text in this image here, and I'm getting this warning saying your boosted post may not run. Images with a high proportion of text don't use their budget as efficiently and may not even run. So you will get this automatic warning if you were trying to run an ad with more than 20% text. But if you don't, it's good to just ensure and measure that for yourself. And if you have any doubts of whether your image contains more than 20% text, you can use this tool here. I'll put the link in the resources section of this lecture, but you just upload your image and it'll really check the text for you. Let's look at one other example, and this is actually an ad that I saw on my Facebook newsfeed. I've saved it so it doesn't appear as an ad now, but this is an ad for LinkedIn, and as you can see, there's quite a lot of text on the image here. Now, according to the Facebook rules, this will get a lot less delivery or not run at all. So I think that that rule is maybe slightly flexible if everything else about the advertiser is looking good. But to be honest, I don't know why LinkedIn even need to include this much text. I think just saying get $50 ad credits is enough for me to be curious and click through. So to recap, in this lecture, what you have learned is that before your ads show up on Facebook and Instagram, they are reviewed to make sure they meet those advertising policies. Your ads will get approved or disapproved within 24 hours. But to save yourself all that time of setting up campaigns, it's worth reviewing these policies before you take the next step. So I'll put this link in the resources section of this lecture. If you have any doubts, go ahead and check that out now, and then I'll see you in the next video.